You're going to be learning how to do two things in this video. Number one is going to be how to set up a proper Facebook ad for your local service business. These are going to be the meta ads that you can use to generate leads for your home or trade business in the next week. And number two, I'm going to walk you through the exact same process that we use to follow up with those leads so you can turn more of those leads into booked jobs, because leads don't actually matter unless you can book them into paying customers. Our starting point is going to be the Meta Ads library or the Facebook Ads library. From here, we're going to be creating the campaigns for your small business. So the very first thing that you have to do is click on this green create button on the left-hand side. From this green create button, a menu is going to open up with a bunch of objectives. Now, you can set up successful Facebook ads with several of these objectives, but the objective that I'm going to cover today is something that's very simple, something that you can do yourself that doesn't require a whole lot of technical know-how. And what you'll want to choose here in this campaign objective section is going to be the engagement objective. Once you click continue, Facebook is going to build the ad structure. That includes campaign, the ad set, and the ad level. Now, the key to making successful ads for Facebook is keeping everything simple and understanding what you're going to get out of this platform, understanding the expectations and managing your expectations. So when we keep things simple, we're able to take what we do offline and move it online, which is basically get in front of more people, get the exposure that we're looking for, let people know what we do, what our company is about, and then have an honest conversation about whether our services are a right fit for them. So with that being said, the very first thing that you have to do here at the campaign level is simply just give this a name that makes sense to you. Now, make sure that you label your campaign accordingly. So if you're doing power washing, or if you're doing garage floor epoxy, or luxury vinyl plank installation, or kitchen cabinet resurfacing, or something like that, make sure that you write that in here so you can identify those successful campaigns if you create 2 or 3 versions of these. You don't really have to worry about special ads categories unless you are a real estate agent, you're promoting some sort of credit repair, or you're advertising for employment opportunities, okay? I don't think anybody in here watching this video is going to be doing political ads, so you don't really have to worry about that. So unless you fall into one of these 4 categories, you don't need to declare any sort of special ads category. Next, you're going to come down to the section that says Advanced Budget Optimization. I'm going to shut this off for now. I don't really like to leave this on unless you have a larger budget, because what this is going to do is split up your budget and allow for Facebook to sort of use that up as it sees fit. And for these kind of campaigns, it's not really necessary, so I'm going to shut that off. The next thing that you'll want to do now is click on this new engagement ad set section. In the ad set section, what you'll want to do is, again, give this a name that makes sense. I typically like to include the service area in here. So if I am running something, let's say in Houston, I would do Houston plus whatever mile radius that I choose, along with the feature set that's involved in this actual campaign. Next, once you give this a name that makes sense, you're going to come here to the conversion section. This is where you want the action to happen, where you want the lead to actually engage with you and become a lead. For us, what you want to do is click on messaging apps. That's the only one that you'll want to choose for this specific campaign type. Next, you'll want to scroll down to the Facebook page section, and all you're doing here is verifying that you've got the correct page here. If you're a local business and you're doing this for yourself, you may only have 1 page. You're not going to have hundreds of pages like we do here. So just make sure you pick the right page that corresponds to where you want this ad to be run on. Next, under messaging app, you'll want to select Messenger. Obviously, if you have an Instagram account, choose Instagram account as well, or you can just unselect that, or WhatsApp account, etc. I typically like to split up Instagram from Facebook, and so what I typically recommend you guys do is just go with a straight up Messenger ad or an Instagram ad, but not both. Just split them up so that you can test and see which one's going to give you the best return. Next, you'll go down to budget and scheduling, and this is where you're going to plug in your daily budget. You have 2 options in here, lifetime budget and daily budget. I do not recommend you guys go with lifetime budget. Very rarely do we use lifetime budget. Most of the time we're using daily budgets. And the reason for that is because lifetime budgets have a beginning and an end. So if you have a campaign that's doing really well and you want to grow it, get more leads, book more jobs, and if it's got an end date, it's going to stop. And then when you restart that campaign again, you lose the traction and it starts to start all over again, trying to figure out where it went right. So I choose daily budget, and then you can add your daily starting budget right here. The next thing that we're going to do is go to Advantage Audiences. We're going to adjust this, and we're going to adjust placements. Now, these are brand new changes that Facebook has made, and going into 2024, you're going to want to pay close attention to these because they could break or make your campaigns. Now, before I dive into this, I do want to let you guys know that I have a workshop. This is called the Local Lead Mastery Workshop, and it's specifically designed for local home service companies and trade businesses. We've been using this strategy for everything from gutter cleaning to roofing to carpet cleaning, junk removal, moving companies, flooring epoxy, vinyl flooring, contractors, kitchen cabinet repair, you name it. We've used this strategy to generate leads and bring in jobs. The workshop is straight to the point, no fluff or BS. It basically covers the major points that you need to set up a successful lead generation campaign. I cover on-point targeting. I cover the offer creation, what type of offers actually work in 2023, 2024, moving forward. A lead maximizer, so you can increase the amount of leads that come in, and a complete up-to-date walkthrough of the type of campaigns that we set up for our clients. In addition to that, I also give you all of our automation. So all you have to do is click a button, install them, and the follow-up process will be set up for you so that you don't have to build those things from scratch. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and check it out. There's a link in the description of this video, or go to localleadmastery.com. Now, like I just mentioned, these are some changes that Facebook has made, and they're very important for you to take note. One thing that we're going to go down here is to audience control, and this is where you will be setting up these service areas that you want to target. Now, there is a big change that just happened in here, in that Facebook is trying to push Advantage Audiences. That means that they want to let their algorithm try to find the right audience for you. This is a great feature if you're selling socks on the internet, or if you're selling baseball hats or t-shirts. It's not such a great feature for local home service businesses. And the reason for that is because we know what our audience is, or at the very least, the age of our audience. We know as a home service business that there's going to be some minimum thresholds that we're looking for that make very good customers. So the very first thing that you want to do in here is type in the service area that you want to promote your business in. So in my situation, you know, I'm in Houston, and so I'm going to promote a Houston service business, and so I'm just going to choose Houston in here. And maybe I do not want to cover the entire city of Houston because it's huge, and so I'm just going to cover Houston and possibly a 10-mile radius of some sort. Now, if I come down here to minimum age, this is where you would typically select the minimum age for your ideal customer. And if you've noticed, what Facebook has done is it's limited you to choosing nobody who's older than 25. Now, this is a real problem for us if we are home service businesses, because we know that whether it is gutter cleaning, junk removal, cabinet resurfacing, luxury vinyl, or anything else, our ideal customer is typically not under the age of 25. Nobody between the ages of 18 and 25 is out there buying these services. So this creates a real problem for us. It basically opens this up so that Facebook can kind of find those people. Now, typically this wouldn't be an issue, but I find that you're still paying for these lower age ranges even though they're not your ideal customer. So if you already know from the get-go that they're not going to buy from you, why spend your money advertising to these people to begin with? Okay, so what Facebook has done here and how to change this is by doing two things. The first and foremost, they have created this option that says audience suggestions, and it is optional. Okay, basically you can tell Facebook a suggestion. You can basically tell Facebook, hey, listen, my ideal audience starts from about the age of 35 and above. And what Facebook will do is will take this into consideration. It doesn't mean that it's going to honor it. It will just look at this take it into a consideration, right? So I find that in some cases it doesn't honor it at all, and you still end up paying to serve your ad up to 18-year-olds who are never going to buy your service. So what I like to do instead is click this option that says switch to original audience settings, and I click original audiences. Now what this does is it brings me back to the default options that Facebook had in the beginning. So under age, now I'm able to choose a minimum age range. So from here, go ahead and pick the age range that your minimum audience is. Okay. Now, under genders, we have a few, a male or female under genders. However, if you're mostly a male-driven business, then type in male. If you're a female, mostly driven business, type in female. Here's some examples of where that would apply. If you're selling eyelashes, then most likely your audience is going to be female. If you're selling, let's say garage epoxy flooring for due to have supercars, then your audience is most likely going to be male. So just make sure that you pick accordingly, or leave it all genders if you don't sway one or the other. Okay. Under advanced targeting, okay, under interest and demographics in here, you can add one interest if you like, or a few. This is where you'll do a little bit of your research to identify where these people are most likely hanging out. But if you're a home service business, typically your radius is going to be your most important factor. Okay. The next thing that you're going to want to do is go down to placements. And under placements, you can see again that this option has changed. We're giving less control in here, and Facebook wants a little bit more control. What I like to do here is I like to click to switch to manual placements, where it says not recommended, ironically. And the reason for that is because I want a little bit more control. I just don't want Facebook to show my ads in placements where I know the quality of the traffic is low. For example, in the Facebook Marketplace, we know that Facebook Marketplace traffic is not high quality. Okay, it's just not. A lot of window shoppers, a lot of people clicking, asking if stuff's still available, and then completely disappearing. Not the kind of lead that I want to pay for. So what you want to do here is click on these placements and choose the ones that you want to fly your ad on. All right, once you do that, the next section that you're going to go to is the new engagement ad section. And this is where you're going to be setting up your ad copy. This is where you're going to be setting up your creative, and a few other things in here, as well as the first message that people get when they become a lead. So the very first thing you want to do is give this an actual name that makes sense to you, so you can go back and identify the kind of ads that you're running. Then come down here to the ad setup, and you're going to make sure that this option is chosen, the single image or video. You can leave multi-advertiser on. It's not going to hurt anything. And then you're going to go down to the ad creative section, and the majority of the work is going to happen here in this section. Now in the ad creative section, we're going to be picking a media type. It's either going to be images or videos. Which one's going to work best for you? Test it out. That's the honest truth. Right now, I will tell you though that in 2024 and beyond, authenticity is what's going to sell. So make sure that you can get your face in front of your service, make sure that it's you and your crews, you and your spouse, you and your kids. Make sure that people can connect with you through social media. What's really driving social media right now, and a lot of people get this wrong, is the ability to connect with other people. People do business with people. And so if they can see your face, if they can see that you're a real company and a real person, they're going to be more likely to do business with you. So in this case, I'm going to be setting up an ad for a pool company, and this is going to be a very personal type of ad. It's going to talk to the ideal customer, and it is going to picture the guy who's actually doing the pool service in here. So what I'm going to do is click on add image. And if you've never run ads before, this library is going to be blank. You're going to have to click on upload and upload your creative from here. So if I click upload, I can open my computer and pick an image that I want. Once I choose the image that I want, I am not going to select optimize all images. I'm just going to leave it alone, and I'm going to click done, and it's going to show right here. So this image that I'm using is a picture of my son, and he's going to promote his pool cleaning services, and I'm going to show you exactly the type of ad that we'll set up. So now that we have the image, as you can see from what we're setting up here, the image is very personal. It has a picture of him in the front. People can see his face. They can see who it is. And there's a pool in the background. So these type of creatives are working very well in 2024 and beyond. And they've worked very, very well in 2023. They have attributed to lower cost per lead with a higher engagement rate and a higher conversion rate. Now, we are going to now plug in our offer. What is this offer going to be? Again, in 2024 and beyond, if you want to have success with meta ads, you have to become authentic. The days of the gimmicky, over promised, over hype things are pretty much, done for. Okay, the super duper ridiculous discounts are almost done for as well. People are looking for authenticity, and they're looking for honesty, and they're looking for a fair deal. All right, so what I'm going to say here is basically just introduce him. I'm going to say, hey, my name is, ABCD, and I service this neighborhood, and I'm in the pool cleaning business. And if you're looking for an honest quote, I'd love to give you one, and I love to earn your business. And that's exactly it for the ad copy. Okay, so now that we have our ad copy in here, I'm going to expand this a little bit and share with you what this looks like. So what we have here is an ad that's very personal. Because you're a home service business, you're a trade business, you're a local contractor, you want to be able to put your face in front of your company. You want to be able to tell people that they're doing business with an actual human. So this is an example ad, by the way, that we would run for a pool company. In this case, we have the picture of the contractor or the guy who's doing the job, and we're just coming out here and being just straight up honest with people. Hey, my name is AJ, and I want to introduce myself. I own 1, 2, 3 pools. If you're looking for a pool cleaner, I'd love to give you an honest quote, and a little bit about himself. I have been cleaning pools in the last couple years, and I decided to offer it as a service, and now here I am providing this service for you. From one human to another, we would like to see if we can kind of earn your business. This is exactly what we're doing, because this is exactly how business operates offline. When you meet somebody, you generally just have a conversation with them and see if what you've got is a good fit for them, and if it makes sense, you shake hands and you strike a deal. So this is going to be it for the ad. Now, the next thing that we're going to be adjusting in here is going to be the first message. What happens when people send you a message here? It's very important that the options that you pick from here are not robotic and they're very honest. So what are we looking to do here? Well, we're looking to have a back and forth with somebody to see if our services match what they're looking for. So the very first thing that we want to do is click on this start conversation section, and we want to edit this template in here. Okay, I typically will remove all questions from here. I don't add any questions. In the past, I have added questions, and I just want to say there isn't a right and a wrong way to do it. It's just about testing to see what's going to work out best for you. If you add the questions, you can ask things like, hey, are you looking for pool cleaning services, or where are you located, or just a few other feelers and pre-qualifiers to see if they're going to be a good lead or not. Okay. If you don't ask the questions, you want to kind of get right to the point. So, do you need a pool cleaner? Please leave me your phone number and I'll reach out. Very straight and to the point. Now, a few things are going to happen here. People are either going to click this ad, they're going to see this message, and they're going to leave you their phone number, in which case it becomes a good lead. You can have a conversation with them. Or people are going to say no, or they're going to ask a few more questions, in which case you still need to have a conversation with them. Okay? So once you do this, all we do is click the save button in here, then click this green publish button on the bottom right hand side, and this ad is going to go up for review on Facebook, and once they approve it, it should start to run. And typically with ads like this, when they're set up properly, we start to see leads come in usually within 7 days. Now, the next step is going to be what to do after this, how to fill in the gap. It's very important that you follow the second step, because it's going to help you close more of the deals. I've always said it before that the biggest issue local home service businesses have is not generating leads. It's going to be the follow-up process. What happens if you're on a job and you can't get to the phone, somebody texts you, somebody messages you, somebody catches you in between jobs when you're dealing with customer issues, or you're putting out fires, or one of your kids gets sick and you have to take them to the doctor and leads start to come in, you lose those opportunities because you don't have a way to fill in the gap, which is exactly what we're going to do here. And what I'm going to show you is how we set all of our campaigns up for all of our clients. And if you watched this video in the beginning, I told you about my local lead mastery workshop. I actually include all these automations in that workshop for you to use in your own business. So we're using a tool called High Level to help us fill in the gap. Basically, help us with all the automated responses that we need in order to be able to close more of those deals. And it does this by addressing those leads and acknowledging the leads that come in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless of whether you're out putting fires, busy with kids, or whatever the case is. It allows us to maximize opportunities. Just implementing this follow-up system alone has increased our clients' close rate by, at the very minimum, 20 to 30%. And I'm going to show you how this works. There's going to be links to these resources in the description of this video, by the way, if you want to go ahead and check this out along with the automations that I'm mentioning. So what you do with this tool is you basically connect it to Facebook, and it's very simple to connect. You click on settings and you go to integrations. And within integrations, basically, you have this Facebook icon. You click connect and you log in with your Facebook credentials. It asks for a few permissions, and then this page that you want to connect here will connect to this account. From here, what we do is we actually set up a series of automations to be able to handle the leads. Now, let me show you what these automations look like. So here is a automation that we use for the messenger that I just showed you. So a Facebook message comes in, that means somebody responds to your ad, and we have the system check to see if the person that came in is already in your database. Is it a new lead? Okay, if it's not a new lead, it goes down this process. If it is a new lead, it notifies you that an existing customer is reaching out to you via Messenger. So here's what happens. A lead comes in, they get automatically tagged so you know where your leads are going to come in. They get added to this pipeline stage, which looks like this, so that you have a snapshot and an overview of all the new leads that come in and whether that lead became a booked appointment, if an estimate was done or an estimate was sent, or the work got completed or scheduled. This gives you a good pulse on things to make sure that your return on the investment that you're doing in your marketing is actually paying out for you. And it also tells you where you're dropping the ball. You may find that you're sending it to a sales team and that sales team is waiting 2 or 3 hours to contact these people, and so that's where you're losing them in the process. Okay, but back to this. Okay, whatever they respond to in Messenger is actually going to be added as a system note in here, and then an internal notification is going to go out to you or your team. This can be via text message, via email, or via a phone call to you, letting you know that a new Facebook lead just came in. The next thing that the system is going to do is going to wait and see if the lead submitted a phone number. So when we first set up the ad, one of the initial questions that we asked is, what is your phone number? Okay. The moment that that lead types in that phone number in Messenger, High Level automates the contact record and it puts the phone number as part of the record. If the system detects that there is a contact record, we're going to immediately move them off Facebook Messenger. The reason we want to move people off Facebook Messenger and into a text conversation is because text messages are more intimate and you have a higher conversion rate. Think of it this way. You've got to sell how you shop. And so if you're looking for higher quality leads, the higher the quality of the lead, the busier they are. They typically have full-time jobs, demanding jobs. They typically have sports activities that they have to go through with kids. They typically have to deal with other types of fires. They might be business owners themselves. They've got a million things going on. So what happens is that when somebody submits lead information on Facebook, they immediately leave and they're not on Facebook anymore. So if you try to respond to them via Facebook, sometimes they may not get those notifications until hours later, or they may not get those notifications at all. Whereas if you move them from Facebook into a text conversation, they can be anywhere, grocery store, in between meetings, and text you back to see if what you've got actually matches. So the system's going to wait to check to see if the lead submitted a phone number. If they did submit a phone number, is going to alert you instantly and let you know that this person submitted a phone number and you need to do your due diligence in calling them and texting them and closing the deal. If the person does not submit the phone number, the system is going to know, and it's going to wait a period of time, and it's going to go back and send them another Facebook message asking them for the phone number. If the system detects that the phone number is still not given, we're going to wait a series of hours, and we're going to continue to follow up with this person 2 or 3 or 4 more times within that 24-hour window until we get the phone number or until they say no. So all this allows you to handle these leads coming in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here's another little thing that we add: hours of operation. If a lead comes in outside of business hours, we have a message that goes out to them that lets them know that they've reached us outside of business hours and that we will be contacting them in the morning through a phone number or through a text message, whichever one you choose. So all in all, this allows you to fill in that gap so that you don't lose any of those opportunities. Every single one of your leads, 100% of them, are going to be taken care of. Whether that lead says they're not interested or whether they say, yes, contact me, regardless of that, 100% of those conversations will be addressed and it will be handled by the automation. So this is exactly what we set up for people. This is exactly what's going to be working, what is working in the latter half of 2023 and what we see working in the future in 2024. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're looking to dive deeper into this and you're looking to really master it for yourself, go check out the Local Lead Mastery Workshop. The link is in the description, and the automations are also in the description of this video.